So here's my story of me, Natalie Helferty. God created itself as Natalie Helferty on July 1st, 2000. I was brought back in time to November 10th, 1968 to Maniwaki Indian Reserve. I don't know who did it, whether it was Elizabeth II or it was God. Oh, I got a beep. Elizabeth II. So to get me out of Toronto, because I was created on a beach in Toronto on July 1st, 2000. Going back in time, I didn't know would get me stuck back in time. So on November 10th, 1968, God sang through me, Natalie Helferty, lullabies. I was a baby. Everybody was awakened in Maniwaki Indian Reserve in Quebec, Gatineau Hills. There was a war that was starting up there by the British and the French against Native American Indians. That's all I know. I don't know who ordered it, why, and why Native American Indians on an Indian reserve that was Maniwaki. But God brought me to stop the war by singing and awakening everybody, including their spirits. When I was a little girl, I had heard from somebody, and I can't remember who, that babies had been killed in the war. It was World War II, I believe. I don't know what year, likely 1945. And I cried for 10 hours. I was a little girl. And I'm trying to remember how old I was. 7. 10 hours later, I stopped crying because babies have been killed. And I knew I had to go back in time to save the babies. I knew I had to stop the war. So as a little girl, I became two people who got a very bad reputation by propagandists, by discrediting me, taking my name and saying, oh, that's the worst on earth, because they were the propagandists that were supporting war criminals. I can't tell you who said it, why they said it, and what it meant for me as a little girl, because I didn't hear about this until I read the propaganda. There's 2 names I took as a little girl, Natalie Helferty. Nat C. Nazi. The Z was for the sharp letter, the last letter of the alphabet, to indicate the war. The I ending was because I knew there was no words that ended in the letter I in the dictionary when I was a little girl. I figured it out by looking in the dictionary. And that was a new discovery. So God created a whole bunch of words that ended in the letter I, like spaghetti, and created spaghetti for me, Natalie Helferty. Nazi is me, Nazi. Natalie, Nat. If you don't understand what I did, I went to stop the baby killers and to save the babies and to save the children from war criminals that were made by an evil spirit. I went to stop the war in Germany as Nazi, and I also went to save the babies and kill the war criminals as a little girl, making up another name, Khmer Rouge. because I'm from the Virgin Mare and the Rouge and Humber Indian chiefs, Khmer Rouge. So I went to the worst place first because I'd asked God, is there any soldiers or police that can go kill the baby killers? I got a no. No man would do this. It's go and kill the baby killers. So I knew as a little girl, I would have to go and do this myself with God. So I said to God, okay, take me to the worst place first, and then we'll go through it until it gets better. So God took me to Cambodia. You don't know where Cambodia is. It's in Southeast Asia. Thailand, Cambodia, Malaysia, they're all in the southeast of Asia. So God took me to the worst place first, which was Cambodia. I don't remember seeing babies killed, but there was a man there who I gave the name to, Pol Pot, political pot. He was a dictator in Cambodia. I had to kill him. And so I'm Khmer Rouge who killed Pol Pot. And I had to kill the baby killers that were there too. They had machetes. They killed me. I waited out of body with my dead body there for them to relax, sit down, and drop their machete. I said, God save me. I got up, took their machete from in front of their feet, and hit them on the head and killed them. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All skinny, evil Asian men. They were not real men. Their bodies disappeared. So some evil spirit, and I don't know if it's the axis of evil, was making baby killers and child killers, because as soon as I landed, they came after me and hit me on the head with the machete and killed me. And I was a little girl, 7 years old. There were babies dropped off. I put coconut shells on their head as helmets. And I asked for some help. And so God brought in this guy, and I said, just tell him, because he wouldn't listen to me. I had to hide as a little girl. And so this guy, I told him to say, just say to him, the babies get dropped. That's not a coconut, because the machete was used to cut open coconuts.